If you've made it this far, it wasn't by chance. There are messages that the universe writes in silence, and today is one of those days. God and your guardian angels have prepared this moment for you to hear what your heart needs to remember. Nothing happens outside of the right time. Take a deep breath. Feel that voice calling you now is the echo of something that still lives. Before we continue, tell me, where are you watching from? Because even when we're far apart, our souls meet on the same frequency, the frequency of truth that is about to be revealed. There is someone who still occupies a silent space within you. It's not something that's talked about every day, but you feel it, in the pauses between one memory and another. This person hasn't disappeared from your energetic field. Even though time has passed, there is an invisible thread that still connects your souls. The universe whispers through signs, a recurring dream, a song that plays at just the right moment, a thought that comes without warning and leaves your chest tight. These are echoes, calls, memories that refuse to be just memories. This person today is wrapped in a silence full of voices. On the outside, they seem calm, distant, perhaps even resolved, but inside, there is a knot, a confusion of feelings trying to hide, but God sees it clearly. Her heart is like a closed window that still lets light seep through the cracks. And this light, small, insistent, is what still connects this story. Because true love never completely fades. It just learns to wait for the right moment to reveal itself. Today, this person is thinking of you. Maybe they fight against it. Maybe they try to convince themselves that they've moved on. But something in the air, something in the vibration of the universe brings your name back to their thoughts. It's as if the wind blows memories that they tried to store away in a locked drawer, but the keys of fate never stay lost for too long. Do you also feel it, don't you? That subtle presence, as if a part of your heart still resonates when remembering a gaze, a voice, a feeling of belonging that was interrupted. God allows certain connections to resurface, not to hurt, but to heal. Because there are wounds that don't close with time, but with truth. And that's exactly what's about to happen. The truth is moving in your direction. This person misread you. Yes, the universe wants you to hear this calmly. This person misread you, saw your silences and thought they were indifference, saw your strength and confused it with coldness. They didn't understand how much you felt, how much you hoped. But time is the greatest teacher, and at this very moment, something inside them begins to understand what the heart tried to deny for so long. Do you know when the soul misses a presence, but pride shuts the doors? That's what they're experiencing now. A struggle between the mind that wants to move on and the heart that wants to return. And in this conflict, God acts in the invisible. He moves circumstances, awakens memories, stirs up encounters that seem like coincidences but aren't. There's something the universe is rearranging. A lesson is being learned, and this lesson has your name on it. You were a light on this person's path. But sometimes those who receive too much light need to step back to see the value of what they had. And it's in this distancing that regret is born, silently, like a seed that sprouts even in the shadows. This person carries something unspoken, a weight, a longing that disguises itself as rationality. They try to fill the void with things, commitments, distractions. But there's a moment in the day, always the same, when the name that echoes in their heart is yours. It's in this moment that the guardian angels whisper to them, "You still have something to understand." Have you ever felt that the universe insists on showing you someone, even when you try to forget? Maybe it's because the story hasn't ended. It has only been interrupted by fear. And fear is the quietest of thieves. It steals the chance, it steals the courage, it steals the presence. But it cannot steal the truth. Today, that person feels the weight of what was left unsaid. They feel the echo of words caught in their throat, the regret of letting time slip away. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is creating circumstances for that person's voice to finally break and speak. Maybe you feel tired, maybe you think you've moved on, but the heart knows there's something that still needs to be concluded with words, with truth, with soul. Love, when it's true, never gets destroyed. It only changes form until it finds balance again. And you who carry this deep sensitivity are being spiritually prepared to hear what needs to be said. God does not waste connections that are born from the soul. He simply collects them for a time until both parties are ready to see the truth without fear. There is an energetic shift happening. Silence begins to break, even if subtly. Now a sign will come, maybe an unexpected message, maybe an unlikely encounter, maybe a dream so vivid that it feels real. Don't doubt it. When the truth wants to manifest, it finds paths where it seemed there was no road. You've been feeling a restlessness lately, haven't you? As if something is approaching, something that your heart recognizes even without being able to explain. This is the universe preparing the ground for a revelation. The guardian angels of that person and yours are working together. They exchange messages in the form of intuition, in the form of coincidences. They know there's something unfinished, and they want to guide you to understanding. Nothing happens by chance. Every silence, every distance, every missed encounter has a hidden purpose. To teach true love to manifest with maturity, with light, with truth. So even though there is still distance today, know that there is a spiritual movement happening behind the scenes of life. God is whispering to that person's heart, showing them what they couldn't see before. And what they are beginning to understand now is precisely what you have always known. There's no escaping a connection that was born from the soul. You can postpone it, try to deny it, distract yourself, but destiny has its own way of redirecting paths, and the time for revelation is approaching. Perhaps this person still doesn't know how to express themselves, but their energy is starting to shift. Their gaze, even from afar, is already seeking yours. There's a vibration, a sweet regret, a desire to mend, to understand, and all of this is just the beginning. Because when God chooses to reveal a truth, no human barrier can prevent it. Love, when it comes with purpose, returns transformed. What was once doubt becomes clarity. What was once fear turns into courage. And what was once silence transforms into words. You are on the brink of this moment. The universe has brought you here to prepare you. And if your heart resonates while you hear this, it's because this message is meant for you. The silence between you carries the weight of history. It is not just an absence of sound. It is the presence of everything that was felt, but not said. It's a field full of memories that breathe, even when you try not to remember. There are days when it seems like time has taken everything, but on others a simple memory reignites what seemed dormant. A scent in the air, a song that plays unexpectedly, a name that pops up somewhere and makes your heart race. These are the signs. And signs always appear when the universe wants to prepare you for something. This person is fighting a silent battle. On the outside, they show strength. On the inside, they face the shadow of indecision. They feel afraid to open up, afraid of repeating old pains, afraid of being vulnerable again. But there is something stronger than fear, and that is what is growing now, the need for truth. The distance wasn't a lack of feeling. It was escape. Escape from the intensity, from the mirror that you represented. Because when two souls truly meet, they recognize each other, even in pain. And that recognition is frightening. Have you ever felt that someone pulled away out of fear, not from a lack of love? That is the essence of what happened. Fear cloaked itself in silence, and silence created distance. But even silence couldn't silence what was born in the unseen. This person thought they could move on, but the universe has its own way of teaching. It reveals through absence the value of what was once present. It shows through distance how much the heart is still bound by invisible ties. Today, this person misses not just you, but the way they felt when they were near you. It was a feeling of peace, understanding, and belonging, and no other connection has been able to replace that. No matter how much they try to convince themselves otherwise, the emptiness remains, a silent reminder that something essential was left behind. The guardian angels whisper. They gently touch this person's heart and make them recall gestures, glances, details, because regret, when it comes from the heart, is a portal to transformation. God is moving the pieces of this destiny. There are lessons being learned in silence. Lessons about pride, about forgiveness, about the value of presence, and each lesson brings you closer to a reunion with the truth. But don't expect everything to happen suddenly. God's timing is different from human timing. While you feel the longing, He is preparing the way, healing the wounds, removing the fear, teaching courage. You in this process have also changed. You have learned to be at peace with yourself. You have learned that love is not a prison, it is a choice. And this new version of you is exactly what will attract what is true. There is an energy of reconciliation being formed. It's not just about speaking again, it's about speaking with soul. It's about opening the heart and finally allowing the voice to break the silence. This person is about to do that. Even if they don't yet know how, they feel they can no longer remain silent. The weight of a mission has become unbearable. And when the heart reaches this point, the truth finds a way to emerge. You will notice the signs, small movements, coincidences that aren't coincidences, messages that arrive unexpectedly. All of this will herald a new phase, the phase of revelation. But before that, it's important to understand the conflict that exists now is the final test. It's the shadow before the light. It's the silence before the voice. Don't despair if the path seems slow. Sometimes God delays a response just to mature the heart of the one who needs to ask with sincerity. You are loved. You are chosen to experience something that transcends time. And if there is silence now, it's because God is writing in the invisible, preparing the exact moment when everything will align. What is to come is great. Not in external gestures, but in internal transformation. This person who once misunderstood you is about to see who you have always been. And when that happens, their gaze will change, their voice will tremble, and the silence will finally be broken. You will feel it. You won't need proof. The heart will recognize it. The universe never misaddresses the truth. And it is at this point that the path begins to open once again. But there's still something you need to hear. In the next part, we will see the moment when this truth finally manifests, and how the universe stitches together the reunion of souls that time couldn't separate. Where are you watching this message from? Have you ever felt that someone drifted away out of fear, not out of lack of love? What has silence taught you about true love? There comes a moment when the invisible begins to move, and that moment is arriving now. God observes the heart of this person. He sees what they feel, what they hide, what they pretend to forget. The universe begins to align what seemed lost. Paths cross again. The heart that had closed off starts to listen. Time has not erased what is true. This person thinks about you more than they admit. In moments of loneliness, their thoughts seek your name. There is an echo that insists on returning, a longing that won't silence. The love that seemed forgotten has only slumbered, and now it awakens, gentle and inevitable. The universe prepares for the reunion. You will notice the signs, dreams, songs, memories. These are the guardian angels stitching together destiny. The fear is dissipating. Resistance gives way to longing. The silence, once a shield, now seeks a voice. This person feels the need to speak. Their heart can no longer bear the weight of what has been kept inside. You feel it too. A light but constant premonition tells you the right time is coming. Do not doubt. What vibrates inside you is a divine answer. God moves everything with tenderness. Nothing will be forced. Everything will come in the time of truth. The universe tells you, do not fear. What is yours returns in peace. The silence was not punishment. It was preparation. Each absence taught something. Each pain shaped the love that is now reborn. Do you believe that silence also speaks? It is in the silence that God whispers the most. All that is yours will find you again. Before dawn, everything seems still, but it is in that moment that the first light is born. Love is that light. It may hide, but it does not disappear. It waits for the right heart to shine again. No distance erases what is true. No silence buries what was planted with soul. God transforms every tear into wisdom. He sweetly restores what seemed lost. This person begins to see clearly. Fear transforms into courage. The past turns into purpose. When they look at you again, they won't see absence. They will see meaning. You who waited with faith will be rewarded. No sincere prayer goes unheard. Everything has been listened to. Life is a teacher. It separates to teach us how to return. It silences to teach us how to listen. And now everything starts to align. The weight dissolves. Peace returns. Trust. Let go of what you cannot control. Allow God to lead the rest. True love isn't forced. It blossoms when the heart is ready. And yours is. Your story is one of transformation, not loss. You haven't been forgotten. You've been chosen. Your guardian angels surround you and say, you have never been alone. The signs will come as lightness, as certainty. And when that person speaks, you will understand. Nothing was in vain. Love, when it is soulful, always finds its way back. The universe doesn't miss the address of truth. Love, when it is light, returns in peace. Breathe. Feel what remains in you after this message. This calm is God confirming everything is aligning. Your guardian angels surrounded you during every word. They cleanse what no longer serves and make room for the new. Now destiny begins to move. Which word in this message spoke to you the most? Write it in the comments. Maybe faith, maybe truth, maybe new beginning. The word that touches your heart is the message from the angels. If this message embraced you, give it a like. This way, more people receive this energy. Share it with someone who needs hope. When the message is guided by God, it reaches those who need it. And if you wish to continue receiving words that touch the soul, subscribe and activate the bell. Before you go, place your hand over your heart and repeat, I trust in God's timing. I surrender what I cannot control. I allow love to find me in peace. Feel it? It's the universe responding. It's a new beginning being born. What is yours is on its way. The truth is approaching, and the silence has already begun to open. Questions to the audience. Do you believe that silence speaks too? Which word in this message resonated with you the most? If this message made sense, give it a like and share. Leave in the comments the word that touched you the most. And if you want to keep receiving messages like this, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Nothing is by chance. You heard what you needed to hear. And now, the universe begins to align everything that belongs to you.